Spaceship Earth. The large geodesic sphere that hovers over the entryway of EPCOT, Walt Disney World's second theme park, and the adapted result of Walt Disney's vision for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Whether you've seen Spaceship Earth with your own eyes or not, it conjures certain questions. After all, whatever lies inside is entirely concealed from the outside world, encased in a structure that may or may not resemble a large golf ball. And for those who know it well, and who know the attraction and story that unfolds inside, the interior Spaceship Earth we know today is just one of many that have come before it. The ride within Spaceship Earth depicts and narrates a history of human existence and how communication in its many forms has helped us survive as a species and shape our tomorrows. After the past is counted for, Spaceship Earth presents us with a vision and hope for the future. But as with any story told across decades or millennia, the details of the Spaceship Earth story have changed over time, shifting to reflect our ever-emerging recent past and a current perspective of the present and future. The history of Spaceship Earth is long, laden with meaning and lost versions of itself. This EPCOT original that entertains with history and human connectivity conceals a history of its own, connected to countless other moments, ideas, and innovators like constellations in the night sky. Let us follow those lines from star to star now, as we uncover the past lives of our Spaceship Earth. EPCOT was an idea in Walt Disney's mind long before it was a theme park. The idea was to build a prototype city of the future that would serve as a hub for people and businesses to share resources, innovations, and plans that would help shape tomorrow today. It was to be built on undeveloped Florida swampland and would be neighbor to a second Magic Kingdom park, similar to the original Disneyland opened in California in 1955. Unlike Disneyland, which was built without long-term expansion in mind, this Florida project, what would come to be called Walt Disney World Resort, would have the luxury of space for both its Magic Kingdom park and its experimental prototype community of tomorrow. EPCOT was to be the crown jewel of this new location, a statement and an example of what cities and communities could be around the world. The idea for EPCOT came fresh off the heels of the 1964 New York World's Fair, where WED Enterprises, the branch of the Walt Disney Company responsible for designing and building Disneyland, had contributed no less than 4 attractions related to history, optimism, and progress. The Magic Skyway, sponsored by Ford.
This Ford Motor Company car will be your time machine for your journey, carrying you far back in time to the dawn of life on land and transporting you far out into the future.
The Carousel of Progress and Progress Land, the Pavilion, sponsored by General Electric.
The Carousel Theater will present a warm and entertaining portrayal of how life has changed through electrical energy.
Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, created for the Illinois Pavilion.
Now, to recreate a truly lifelike image of Lincoln, we use our new medium of audio animatronics.
And It's a Small World, sponsored by Pepsi, as a salute to the children of the world and UNICEF.
A worldwide organization that is working for a better tomorrow by helping the children of today. Our musical fantasy features the songs and dances of youngsters from more than 100 nations.
Before we move on, there is one more stop we'll have to make while we're at the fair. The U.S. Pavilion, hosted by the U.S. government, featured another attraction focused on a presentation of history, specifically American history, from colonization to the then ongoing space race. This audio-visual presentation was conveyed to guests in theater seating vehicles passing by large movie screens. This show, called The American Journey, was written by American science fiction writer and national treasure Ray Bradbury. In 1964, humankind had not gone to the moon, but they had certainly dreamed about it enough. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy had pledged America to the challenge of stepping foot on the moon by decade's end. In 1964, Walt Disney and Ray Bradbury presented stories of the past, present, and future at the New York World's Fair. In December 1966, Walt Disney died, leaving behind an enduring legacy and a vision for an EPCOT that would never be the same or even possible without the man himself to lead it. In 1968, on the first crewed lunar orbit, an astronaut captured a photo of Earth as seen from the horizon of the moon. Earthrise was the first shared sight of our planet, of everything we are, in full color, suspended in the dark void of space. In 1969, humans set foot on the moon, achieving the goal laid out at the beginning of the decade by the now dead president. In 1971, Walt Disney World Resort and Magic Kingdom opened to the public, with plans for a new incarnation of EPCOT set for a not-too-distant future. In the following year, 1972, another photo of our planet, a complete circular face of the globe, was captured as the Apollo 17 mission departed Earth for another brief visit to the moon and back. This would be the last time humans set foot on the moon for more than 50 years. 10 years after that last Apollo mission, EPCOT Center, a theme park akin to a permanent World's Fair, would open at Walt Disney World. At the heart of it all stood a grand geosphere encasing a journey through a history of humankind, an evolution of communication technology, and a prediction of possible futures waiting both out in space and here on our planet. Having previously defined the potential of theme parks with Disneyland in 1955, WED Enterprises, later known as Walt Disney Imagineering, was poised to present something entirely new in the realm of themed entertainment with EPCOT Center. In a short documentary film about Epcot and Spaceship Earth, Ray Bradbury recalled a conversation he once had with Walt about the splendor and the sad limitations of World's Fairs.
And one day he said to me, you know, the horrible thing about World's Fairs is what? And I said, the horrible thing is the year after they open, they tear everything down. He said, well, I would like to build a permanent World's Fair, and I hope someday you'll have something to do with it.
World's Fairs were never built to last. They were built for brief yet poignant moments in time for people to gather to celebrate and discover the latest developments in technology and human progress. Disney expressed to Bradbury his wish to one day build something of a permanent World's Fair and to have Bradbury involved in making it happen. With Walt gone, Epcot adopted and adapted the World's Fair format, fulfilling Walt's conversation with Ray all those years ago. Ray Bradbury was asked by Imagineering to write a concept script for Epcot's centerpiece attraction, pitched as a history of human communication and based on the title Spaceship Earth. Bradbury's concept script, inscribed with the date July 22, 1977, was written a little more than 5 years prior to the debut of EPCOT Center and was the first of many versions of Spaceship Earth. Thank you for listening to the first part of this, our Spaceship Earth essay. Make sure to tune in next week when we dive into Bradbury's blueprint for Spaceship Earth. This is Ms. Morrow, signing off.